There is a bread in the Bible that God Himself prescribed. Not suggested, not hinted at, prescribed, like a doctor handing you a prescription. Except this doctor created the universe, and the patient was a king who had just been told he was going to die. That bread, the one you see right here, is made from one ingredient that has been growing in the Holy Land since before Abraham walked its roads. One ingredient that ancient physicians used to pull infection from open wounds. One ingredient that modern science, thousands of years later, confirmed contains enzymes so powerful they can break down damaged tissue the way no antibiotic could in the ancient world. Right. And the strangest part is not that it worked. The strangest part is that almost nobody makes it anymore. Today we are going to change that. Because by the end of this, you are going to know exactly what this bread is, why God chose it, what it did to a dying king's body, and how to make it yourself in your own kitchen with ingredients you can find this week. But first, you need to hear what happened in that room in Jerusalem. Because the recipe means nothing without the story, and the story will stay with you for the rest of your life. Around 700 years before Christ, the kingdom of Judah had a king named Hezekiah. And Hezekiah was not like the kings who came before him. The Bible says he did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, following the ways of his ancestor David. He tore down the pagan altars. He smashed the sacred stones. He cut down the Asherah poles. He even destroyed the bronze serpent that Moses had made in the wilderness, the one the Israelites had started worshiping as an idol. Hezekiah loved God with everything he had, and God was with him. But then something happened that shook all of Judah to its core. The Assyrian Empire, the most feared military force on earth at that time, marched straight to the gates of Jerusalem. Their king Sennacherib had already crushed every nation in his path. The northern kingdom of Israel was gone, swallowed whole, and now he wanted Judah. Hezekiah prayed, God answered. 185,000 Assyrian soldiers died in a single night. The siege was broken. Jerusalem survived. But almost immediately after that victory, when the dust had barely settled, when the people were still celebrating, Hezekiah fell ill. The Bible describes what happened next in just a few verses, but those verses carry more weight than most people realize. Homer 2 Kings 20, verse 1. In those days, Hezekiah became ill and was at the point of death. The prophet Isaiah, son of Amoz, went to him and said, "This is what the Lord says, put your house in order, because you are going to die. You will not recover." Imagine hearing that. Not from a doctor guessing, from a prophet speaking on behalf of God, the same God who had just saved your city, the same God you had served faithfully your entire life. And the message is, this is the end. The illness was a shehin, that is the Hebrew word, a boil, but not a small bump you put a bandage on. Scholars who have studied the term believe it refers to a severe ulcerated infection, possibly a deep abscess, possibly a staph infection, possibly something even worse. The same word appears in Exodus 9:9 for the plague of boils that struck Egypt. The same word appears in Job 2:7 for the sores that covered Job from head to foot. This was serious. This was the kind of infection that in the ancient world, without antibiotics, without surgery, without anything we rely on today, killed people regularly. And Hezekiah knew it. But he did not accept the sentence. 2 Kings 20, verse 2. Hezekiah turned his face to the wall and prayed to the Lord. He turned away from everyone, away from the servants, away from the room, toward the cold stone, and he poured out his heart. Remember, Lord, how I have walked before you faithfully and with wholehearted devotion, and have done what is good in your eyes. And the Bible adds one detail that breaks through everything. And Hezekiah wept bitterly, not quietly, bitterly, the kind of weeping that comes from the deepest place a person has, the kind that hurts the chest, the kind you cannot stop even if you wanted to. This was a man who was not ready to die, a man who still had things to do, people to protect, a kingdom to lead, and he was begging God for more time. And here is where the whole story turns. Isaiah had not even left the palace. He had not even reached the middle courtyard, and God spoke to him again. Go back, Tell Hezekiah, I have heard your prayer, I have seen your tears, I will heal you. On the third day you will go up to the temple of the Lord. I will add 15 years to your life. 15 years, from a death sentence to 15 more years, in the space between one hallway and the next. But God did not just speak the healing into existence, He did something unexpected, something that has made people ask questions for nearly 3,000 years. He gave a recipe. 2 Kings 20, verse 7. Then Isaiah said, "Prepare a lump of figs." They did so and applied it to the boil, and he recovered. One verse. That is all the Bible gives us. But inside that verse is something extraordinary. God could have healed Hezekiah with a word. He had done it before, healed lepers, cured plagues, restored sight. He did not need figs. He did not need anything. But he chose to use them. He chose to involve the natural world. He chose to give a prescription. And that tells us something. It tells us that God placed healing properties inside creation on purpose. That certain foods are not just nutrition, they are medicine. That the same God who designed the human body also designed the things that repair it. And figs were at the top of that list. The Hebrew word for what Isaiah prescribed is debelah. And this is important, because a debelah is not a fresh fig picked from a tree. A debelah is a compressed cake of dried figs. Figs that were harvested at the peak of ripeness, then laid out on rooftops or flat stones under the sun for days until they dried. Once dried, they were pressed together, kneaded, pounded, compressed into dense, sticky blocks, dark, heavy, almost like a thick paste that holds its shape. These fig cakes show up multiple times in the Bible, and every time they show up at a moment of crisis. In 1 Samuel chapter 25, when Abigail rushes to prevent David from attacking her husband Nabal, she brings 200 fig cakes along with bread, wine, and grain, not as dessert, as essential provisions, as survival food for warriors. In 1 Samuel chapter 30, when David's men find a half-dead Egyptian slave in the desert, a man who had not eaten or drunk anything for 3 days, they revive him with a piece of fig cake and 2 clusters of raisins, and the text says his spirit came back to him. That is how powerful this food was. It brought a man back from the edge. In 1 Chronicles 12:40, when the tribes of Israel gather to crown David as king, they bring fig cakes as one of the essential celebration foods, alongside bread and wine, alongside meat and oil. Figs were not a treat in the ancient world. They were survival. They were energy. They were medicine. And modern science confirms what the ancient world already knew. Figs, especially dried figs, contain proteolytic enzymes. The most important one is called fixin. Fixin is a natural enzyme that breaks down proteins, and this is where it connects directly to what happened in that room in Jerusalem. When a severe boil or abscess forms on the skin, the infected area fills with dead tissue, pus, and damaged cells. The body struggles to clear it. In the ancient world, without surgical drainage, without antibiotics, that buildup of dead material could turn a simple infection into a fatal one. The body could not heal because it could not clean the wound. Fixin does exactly that. It breaks down dead tissue. It acts as a natural debriding agent, meaning it dissolves the necrotic material while leaving healthy tissue intact. Ancient Egyptian physicians documented this in the Ebers Papyrus, one of the oldest medical texts ever found, dating to around 1550 before Christ. They used fig preparations to treat wounds, skin ulcers, and tumors. Greek physicians, including Dioscorides in the 1st century, wrote about fig poultices applied to boils and abscesses to draw out infection and promote healing. Figs also contain high levels of natural sugars, glucose and fructose, which create a hypertonic environment on the wound surface. That means they draw moisture out of bacterial cells through osmosis, effectively dehydrating the bacteria. The same principle behind honey being used as a wound treatment for thousands of years. On top of that, figs contain flavonoids and phenolic compounds with documented anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial properties. Studies published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology and the American Journal of Food Technology have confirmed that fig extracts show significant activity against common wound-infecting bacteria. So when Isaiah said, "Take a lump of figs and lay it on the boil," He was prescribing something that would break down dead tissue through enzymatic action, dehydrate bacteria through osmotic pressure, reduce inflammation through natural anti-inflammatory compounds, and provide a moist healing environment that promoted tissue regeneration. God did not choose figs randomly. He chose the most effective natural wound treatment available in the ancient world. Now here is where you come in. Because this bread, this biblical fig bread, is something you can make in your kitchen today. And while we are not treating boils with it, what you are putting into your body when you eat this is extraordinary. Dried figs are one of the most nutrient-dense fruits on earth. A single serving gives you potassium, more per gram than bananas; calcium, more than most plant sources; magnesium, iron, fiber, B vitamins. They are a natural source of prebiotics, meaning they feed the beneficial bacteria in your gut. They support digestive health in ways that processed foods simply cannot. And when you combine them with the other ingredients that were common in biblical kitchens, barley flour, olive oil, honey, a touch of cinnamon, you get something that is not just historical, it is genuinely healing. This is the recipe, and I want you to take your time with it. No rush, no pressure, just the way they would have done it. You are going to need about 2 cups of dried figs. Look for the ones that are soft, dark, sticky. Turkish or mission figs work beautifully. If they feel hard or too dry, soak them in warm water for about 30 minutes until they soften. That is important. You want them pliable, almost paste-like. Remove the stems, then place them in a bowl and begin mashing them with a fork, or even better, with your hands. This is the way they did it. No blenders, no machines, just hands pressing figs against the side of a wooden bowl until they become a thick, dense mass. You will feel the seeds. You will feel the sticky sweetness between your fingers. Take your time. Let them become a smooth, unified paste. Now take 1.5 cups of barley flour. If you cannot find barley flour, whole wheat flour works. But barley is the biblical grain, the grain of the poor, the grain of the faithful, the grain that a boy brought to Jesus before 5,000 people were fed. Barley is the one you want if you can get it. Mix the barley flour into the fig paste. Work it together slowly. Add 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, the good kind, cold-pressed, the way they made it in ancient Judea by crushing olives in stone presses. The oil softens the dough, adds richness, and brings its own healing properties. Olive oil was sacred in the ancient world. It anointed kings, it lit the temple menorah, and it fed families every single day. Wakwa, add 1 tablespoon of raw honey, not processed, not the kind in the plastic bear, real honey, the kind that is thick and cloudy and smells like flowers. Honey in the Bible is a symbol of the promised land itself, a land flowing with milk and honey. And like figs, honey has its own antibacterial properties that ancient people understood long before we had labs to prove it. If you like, add half a teaspoon of cinnamon. Cinnamon, or its ancient cousin, cassia, was one of the ingredients in the holy anointing oil described in Exodus 30. It was traded along spice roots for thousands of years. It adds warmth, it adds depth, and it has anti-inflammatory properties that complement everything else in this bread. Which is Bridget? Eat cost. Add a small pinch of sea salt. Just a pinch, enough to bring everything together. Now work the dough until it is firm but soft. It will be dense, it will be sticky, it will not look like modern bread dough, and it should not. This is ancient bread. It is thick, compact, and heavy with nutrition. Shape it into small rounds, about the size of your palm, maybe half an inch thick. These are not tall, fluffy loaves. These are flat, dense cakes. The kind that fit in a traveler's bag, the kind a shepherd would carry into the hills. The kind a soldier would break in half and share with the man next to him on a long march. Heat your oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. Not high heat, low and slow. The ancient taboon ovens, the dome-shaped clay ovens they used in biblical times, did not blast food with intense heat. They cooked slowly, evenly, the way embers cook, and that slow heat is what gives this bread its character. Place your rounds on a baking sheet lined with parchment. If you want to go fully authentic, use a cast iron skillet or even a flat baking stone. Brush the tops lightly with a little more olive oil, just a whisper, just enough to give them a golden surface as they bake. Bake for about 20 to 25 minutes. You are watching for the edges to turn firm and slightly golden, the surface to set, and the kitchen to fill with a smell that is honestly hard to describe until you experience it. Sweet, earthy, warm, like something that has been waiting centuries for you to make it again. When you take them out, let them cool for a few minutes. They will firm up as they rest. They will be dense, chewy, deeply sweet from the figs and honey, with that nutty richness from the barley and olive oil. Break one open. Look at the texture. See the fig seeds. See the dark, almost caramel-like interior. This is not a snack. This is history in your hands. This is the bread that traveled with armies, sustained prophets, healed a king. And that is what makes this story different from every other healing story you have heard. God did not send an angel. He did not speak thunder from the sky. He did not ask Hezekiah to climb a mountain or cross a sea. He told a prophet to go to the kitchen, to take something that was already growing in the garden, to press it, shape it, and lay it on the wound. Prophet, just figs. The same fruit that grew along every road in Judah. The same fruit that children picked off the trees on their way home. The same fruit that dried on every rooftop in the summer heat. Something so ordinary, so common, that nobody would have looked at it twice. And God used that simple, humble thing to reverse a death sentence. There is something in that worth sitting with, because it tells you something about the way God works. He does not always send the extraordinary. Sometimes he sends the obvious. Sometimes the answer has been sitting right in front of you, on your table, in your garden, in your own two hands, and all you had to do was use it. Hezekiah got 15 more years. 15 years of watching his children grow. 15 years of walking to the temple. 15 years of sunlight on his face in the morning and stars over Jerusalem at night. And it started with a fig cake and a prayer. So make this bread. Take your time with it. Use your hands. Feel the figs between your fingers. Smell the honey. Watch it bake. And when you break it open and share it with someone at your table, remember where it came from. Remember who prescribed it. And remember that sometimes the most powerful things God gives us are the simplest. If this video stayed with you, if something in this story felt like it was meant for you today, share it with someone. A friend, a family member, someone who needs to hear it. And if you have not yet, join us here at Biblical Footsteps. We walk slow, we dig deep, and we never rush past the things that matter most. We will see you in the next one.